Hello everybody and welcome back to the kingdom. So this video will be my first video into the car space. This video has been in the works for several months. I'd probably say about 3.5 months. I recently traded in my 2019 silver WRX that barely hit over 10,000 miles by the time I traded it in. And I now have a 2024 3-liter manual Supra Premium. And this car is the second car in terms of my dream car. So after this one, of course, is going to be like 15 or 20 years down the road, I imagine. But it's definitely going to be a Porsche GT3 RS. So, you know, only $250,000, no big deal, right? But there are a lot of things that I have planned for this car. I've got an Excel sheet of like 60 or 65 different items that I would like to do, anywhere from cosmetics. Well, I guess it would be aesthetics, not cosmetics when comparing it to a car. There's some performance, but I am currently on the 1,000 mile break-in period, and I only have 224 miles. I picked this car up when it had 8 miles, and I have not been disappointed. This is my first rear-wheel drive car that I've ever driven. My very first dream car was from the PlayStation 2 game Need for Speed Underground 2, and that was the 2008 Hyundai Tiburon, which is front-wheel drive, believe it or not. So when it came to Colorado weather, where you would have all 4 seasons in a day, the car was actually pretty damn good in the snow, not gonna lie. And then from there, I traded that in for the Subaru WRX, which is all-wheel drive, and that had about 250 horsepower, and I used an access port on it to actually be able to drive the car. It's a night and day difference between what that access port offers and just driving that car stock. I can't believe that the car doesn't come with all of that stuff unlocked already. But going from the Tiburon, which is non-turbo, over to the WRX, which is turbo, I could never drive a non-turbo car again. Of course, unless it's the fiance's car, right? Which is now the family car for when we do have a family. So I was able to get my coupe car back. I love the coupe style, just absolutely love it. And so let's go ahead and show you what it is. Go ahead and guess the color now. You've got... So it is absolute zero white, aka, and I did not have any say in the color when I was pre-ordering this from the dealership. It was actually quite the surprise. I was planning on waiting a couple more months to actually start looking for the Supra. I did try and look at a 2023 manual, and that didn't quite go so well. Pretty much every single one that I looked up was already pre-ordered, and so that didn't quite go well. And as you can see, 224 miles. And so I figured with absolute white, it wasn't exactly the color scheme I was looking for. I was definitely looking for the nocturnal, which is black, because of the color scheme that I wanted to do with the car. So of course, those of you who have been following my YouTube channel already, you know that black, white, teal, and gold is in my logo. And so with this being a white base, I could get it wrapped, which is something that I have thought about. However, that would also be pretty expensive when I want to do PPF, at least on the full front package, with the side skirts. And I'm just not quite sure what I want to do with that. Now, I could do both. I could do the vinyl wrap and then the PPF on top of it, but the issue with that would be if I wanted to change out the wrap or do a different color scheme, then of course the PPF would have to come off when the PPF is more important. So it is also possible to do the vinyl wrap on top of the PPF. So that is something that I am going to be thinking about. Now, when it comes to the wrap, with what I have in mind, I actually don't think I'll do the entire car. There are going to be certain pieces that I am wanting to do. And let's go ahead and show you what I have in mind. So for starters, most people get the paint matched reflectors. There's 2 reflectors on each side, of course, you know, got to be symmetrical, but the orange is in the front and the red is in the back. Now Rex Speed does have these paint matched reflectors. However, if I'm just going to be wrapping these anyway, then I probably don't really see a point in ordering aftermarket ones when these are just going to be wrapped anyway. Now there is a little bit of a stamp right here. Not sure if the camera can pick that up, but you could see the lettering right here. So in terms of wrapping the original piece, I don't know if the wrap would start to bubble right here. I would imagine probably so. So I might have to get the aftermarket ones anyway. And they are going to be teal. I'm also thinking about doing the door handle right here in teal and then maybe PPF over it, or PPF first and then the teal wrap over it. Now, of course, the issue with doing the wrap over the PPF is when you do replace the wrap, there is a pretty good chance that the PPF is going to come off with it, especially because of the way it's done. So with wraps and PPF, you usually want to fold it around a corner so that way it sticks and it's seamless, right? At least for the vinyl wrap. Now with PPF, you can kind of get away with on the door handle just by ending it right here on this groove. At least that's my understanding. I actually have no experience doing PPF or getting PPF on any of the vehicle parts, but that's just my assumption from the research that I've done. So I might just stick with a wrap right here. But with this is a really big piece. And a lot of people get the carbon fiber, but I don't really see the point in doing that if I'm just going to wrap it. So that is going to save me some money there. And then also with these non-functional hood vents, now they could be functional. There are aftermarket vents that do have a hole right here, but if we look underneath the hood, there's really not much that can happen if I were to even make them functional. So if you see right here, the hood vent, there's nothing. There's like 2 holes where the air would go in. So that doesn't make sense. As far as the emblems for this, I think I might just keep it, but maybe put a teal vinyl wrap on it. I'm not really sure. There is some badges from JD Customs that looked really, really nice. They had like the titanium finish on them. Not sure if I want to do that just because it kind of seems a little bit popular for a lot of people to do. I'll have to do more research. So kind of one of the big goals of this entire Supra from a project standpoint that I'm wanting to do, how do I differentiate my Supra from other people's? How do I get people to be like, oh, that's a unique and awesome Supra, and to really have it showcase something that hasn't really been done before? And from the initial thoughts on that, of course, it would be what the car looks like. So cosmetics, right? I mean, I can't really do anything performance. Well, let me rephrase that. I shouldn't do anything performance-wise until I reach the 1,000 mile break-in period. Because I am not that car savvy, I would actually consider myself maybe a little bit more than novice when it comes to like anything that's moderate to advanced in terms of car performance. I'm very new at it. So of course, by doing anything performance-wise, I really need to do a lot of research as to what is and is not going to be voiding the powertrain warranty. And during the initial conversation that I had with the dealership themselves about asking the warranty, I asked them if I were to drill holes, like for example, a spoiler, which I really want to do, not just really the duckbill, or maybe canards on the front. If I were to drill holes into the actual body, what kind of warranty would that void? And they specifically said it would void the corrosion warranty on that specific part. So that is actually good news because I know exactly what I'm doing. And it is also easily avoidable. I could just get the duckbill on the back. There's 2 of them in particular that look really, really nice for about $400, I believe, from my initial research. And I could just wrap it as well for part of the color scheme. I'm not really sure. It is really nice seeing that carbon fiber duckbill though. There is also 3 more parts that I have actually already ordered the parts for. So let me show you. So, as with every single Supra, pretty much ever, there has been a lot of wind buffeting. So I have ordered the Rexpeed part right here, carbon fiber part, that will, or should, eliminate the wind buffeting when going like 40 plus miles per hour. I have also ordered the carbon fiber mirror caps, which pretty much every Supra has ever. So I may look into wrapping those as well for teal. And then also the DRLs, which kind of almost every Supra ever as well has done, is changing out the color from white to yellow. I do already have this part. It's just a matter of time when I go to the garage and replace that part. But that is currently something that I am going to do. I also want to change out this. I can't remember what it was called, to be honest, but I'm sure I'll link it in the video description below. But it is going to have like 2 canards right here, and because the canards are very sharp on the points, there's 2 points, I don't exactly know how much of that can be wrapped. I also want to have additional side skirts below this, maybe something like just a acrylic plastic sheet, like a side skirt extension. I don't really know how to do that, but of course that is part of the project for the Supra. Eventually, I would love to have the calipers sandblasted and painted teal to match the color scheme of the car. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this would also be teal. With all these grooves right here, that would be extremely difficult, I believe, for a vinyl wrap to do, but I'll find some shops and see what they can do. And then I also want a teal trim, like a pinstripe all around the car. And then I also have a design that I'm thinking of that goes from the front wheel, covers probably about this much of the car, and then collides back here, or goes into a single segment. I don't really want to say too much just in case I can't get it done. But once the break-in period is over, I will be ordering a downpipe. I'm not really sure which one just yet. I do want to have one that isn't going to throw a check engine light, obviously. So I believe it was Army Tricks and Kenji catless downpipe. I have to do some more research on sound clips. I've been able to find some clips just on the downpipe itself with the stock exhaust, but if I want to change out the entire catback, then I really want to hear some sound clips first. I was almost kind of thinking the dual Tomei, but that would be really loud. I'm not exactly sure how lax Ohio is in terms of sound. I'd imagine they're fairly lax because there's Mustangs all the time around here that just think that they're the coolest kid on the block with trying to accelerate, and it's just loud. They're not even fast. Shout out Mustang owners, LOL. In terms of interior, there's really nothing that I want to do as of yet. Actually, now that I say that, I lied. Sound system. I don't know what the purpose of these 2 subs is in the back. They are borderline useless. Like, you can't even feel them. And when you hear them, it sounds like the subs are maxing out. Like, I don't understand what Toyota was thinking. It's like the worst system I've ever heard in my life. Like, you look in here, you've got the tweeters, L tweeters, which you can very noticeably hear the high-end notes. You've got the speakers in each door, which you can clearly hear. That's where a majority of the sound is coming from. But when it comes to the subs, like, I don't understand. One of the things that I really do enjoy about this car, and it's taken me, I mean, of course I'm still gonna be learning throughout the entire 1,000-mile process, but the amount of backfire on this thing in first gear and second gear is amazing. I'm going to try and get some sound clips eventually, but I mean, there's plenty of sound clips out there on stock exhaust and everything, so I may not end up doing that. It's more of just a personal excitement every time I get a smile on my face. So by going really high, I would probably say like 6,000 RPM. So if you 7,000 limit to 6,000 and not even pushing in the clutch, just letting off the gas, there is so much backfire. Sounds like gunshots out the back on stock. It's amazing. And then second gear is very much similar. I haven't really been able to test third gear because you could reach 100 miles an hour in this car in third gear, and it has 6 gears. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I can test that. And FYI, so my dealership said that even entering dyno mode voids the warranty on the car, even if nothing is done. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to wait until this car gets paid off, which shouldn't be too long, and then I can get a full-on real tune with this thing. But it is going to take a lot of research as to what kind of downpipe and exhaust I can do without having to retune the car. So there is also the JB4, which is a possibility. Now that in itself doesn't void the warranty as long as I am able to re-put the stock map back on this car and revert it back to stock. So of course, with anyone who's still paying off the car or is looking to trade in the car down the road, keep all of your stock parts, like just in case. Literally, just keep it all and just be safe. And if you haven't been able to tell already, I am pretty nervous about making these, I don't really know if it's a vlog, but video log, I don't know, whatever. I've never really done anything like this before, so it is going to take me a little bit of time to get more comfortable. And it's almost kind of a little bit illogical in a way. Like, I'm literally just sitting in my car recording with my phone right in front of me. Like, that shouldn't be nervous at all because no one is actually watching me in an empty parking lot on Memorial Day. And for those of you who have been watching from pretty much my very first challenge run videos, you'll notice that as the videos go on and on, you'll notice my voice start to get more comfortable. I do less stuttering. I do less mixing up words. That was terrible grammar. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to take me a little bit of time to acclimate myself to this entire process and feel a lot more comfortable doing this. So thank you guys very much for your time and your understanding throughout this entire process. But for the future, I am so excited about what I want to be able to do with this Supra. I have seen a couple other ideas that look really interesting that I want to try. Of course, I'm not going to say anything yet because I really want this car to be super, super unique. I was trying to think what else I wanted to do from an interior standpoint, and one of them, I can't believe I forgot about this, I'm actually really excited about this, is the seat belts. Actually, I want to change the color of them from black to teal. So I've already found a website, and what they want is for me to remove the factory seat belts and send it to them, and then they would replace the belt itself with a different color. And by doing that, my car would be out of commission for probably a week or so. Now, it would be about $100 per seat belt. So I'm wondering if I could maybe just remove the passenger side first, send that in, and then I can use the passenger side for the driver's side. I don't really know because of the way that they are angled. I don't know if it's the same connection or anything. That might not have made sense, but it's making sense in my head. Let's see what else. Maybe the shift knob, but I mean, of course that's not needed. That's just, of course, a luxury. But I am a massive fan of titanium colored accessories. So on my 2008 Hyundai Tiburon, I had, I believe it was the ARC DK2 catback exhaust. But anyway, it had titanium tips, and it looks so awesome, especially on a white or black vehicle. Now, of course, that is my personal preference. I'm a really big fan of titanium, or the oil slick color scheme, in other words. So we'll see what I want to do with that. But for the exhaust, I definitely want to go with the titanium tips. So I know most of this video has just been me sitting in the car until I've kind of actually done the customizations to the vehicle. Oh, that's another thing that kind of irks me is, so the term mod, it's just like, I've seen some YouTube videos where people just like debadge a car and call it a mod. Now, while that is technically correct because mod means modification, I think it's more of like a customization rather than a modification. I feel like mod should be referred to as performance. That's just my opinion. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. But that's going to do it for me talking. Let's see if we can try and get some sound clips. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and if you own a Supra, please let me know what your favorite mod or customization has been as well. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. I am really excited about the Supra project that I have going. And until next time, bye-bye.